You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports 2. Well, we're going to talk about Mac Jones because it seems he has become an easy target for a lot of people out there. Boomer Esiason called him a douche earlier in the week. Yeah, called Mac Jones a douche, and hell, I like Boomer, but I really don't get this. I don't get any of this. And you can tell a lot of this is Mac Jones hate is happening because these people obviously are not in tune with that sort of offensive nightmare scenario that's been going on in New England since minicamp, since training camp, since preseason. The idea that Bill Belichick decided, I'm not going to hire an offensive coordinator after I lost Josh McDaniels. By the way, Josh McDaniels loves Mac Jones. I'm not going to replace him. I'm going to use one of my guys, Matt Patricia, Joe Judge. It's a nightmare. Mac Jones, as a second-year quarterback, is dealing with an utter and complete failure on a coaching level in New England, okay? But, my God, now, because Mac Jones, I guess, came from some money, somebody like Channing Crowder, ex-player, I think he was a linebacker with the Dolphins, so he probably doesn't have a hell of a lot of love for the Patriots to begin with, has come out and accused Mac Jones of AFFLUENZA, okay? AFFLUENZA, all right? Now, essentially what that is a psychological behavior tied to young people that have money or grew up around money. I don't understand what any of this has got to do with play on the field. By the way, Mac Jones was struggling in that offense in the last several weeks. Mac Jones, I believe since around November the 24th, has got 8 touchdowns and 1 interception. I mean, the kid is literally trying to make lemonade out of lemons in a disastrous offensive situation. Okay, Bill O'Brien is probably coming back to New England, and hopefully that saves it. Otherwise, if I'm Mac Jones, I'm asking for a damn trade. I am. I'm like, trade me to an actual club where the head coach is not so pompous to think that Matt Patricia and Joe Judge are going to be able to run an offense, a competent offense. It's a nightmare. But if you're not tuned into the Jets, you just don't, or to the Patriots, you just don't know that. Channing Crowder continued to pile on Mac Jones, and you can tell Mac Jones is going to be a target in the same way that Kirk Cousins is now a target, in the same way that Jimmy Garoppolo is a target, Derek Carr's a target. Okay, Dak Prescott is a target. All right. I'm not sure really what's going on. It's sort of the middle of the pack, 12 to 18 quarterback guys that just stay under fire, okay? And especially considering Mac Jones had one of the best rookie quarterback seasons we've seen in a long time, but he had a really good offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels. So let's get to this. Jones has come under scrutiny, considerable scrutiny, for his poor body language amid ups and downs of the Patriots' 8-8 season, with Boomer Esiason characterizing his behavior as douchiness earlier this week. Crowder was appearing on The Herd on FS1 and asked by Colin Cowherd about his evaluation of the crop of young NFL quarterbacks. The former Dolphins linebacker cited Trevor Lawrence as being in the high ascendance now that he's coached by Doug Peterson instead of Urban Meyer, and predicted he would one day join the echelon of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Crowder then took aim at Jones. You know, Crowder should look at one comment he just made. He's coached by Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson's a really good offensive mind, one of the best in football, instead of Urban Meyer. I mean, you know, coaching has so much to do with this, especially for a young quarterback. I heard you talking earlier in the show about Mac Jones's body language, Crowder said. quote, it's called AFFLUENZA. If you've been given too much, you have too much money, you're a little different. I was around a bunch of rich dudes growing up, and I played with rich guys. They just have this little demeanor, and you know it gets to you. You brought up Jay Cutler. I would bring up Josh Allen in this conversation. Kyler Murray was a trust fund baby. Man, if you think Mac Jones' attitude is anything like Kyler Murray's, you should probably quit covering football right now. Regardless of whether you played it or not, that's a terrible take. That's a terrible take. Mac Jones is a fiery guy. He expects high-quality coaching. He tries to motivate everybody. People consider him to be a great teammate. Those Patriot players love Mac Jones. They do. I mean, that's crazy. Kyler Murray. It does explain a lot with Kyler Murray. I mean, it does. I mean, a sense of entitlement. If anything, Mac Jones, you could call him entitled. Yeah, he's entitled to competent offensive coaching. He doesn't even have that. Okay? Competent. The AFFLUENZA phrase entered the lexicon after the attorney representing Ethan Crouch, who killed 4 people in a drunk driving accident as a teen in Texas in 2013, submitted as a defense that a wealthy upbringing was responsible for his behavior. Yeah, it's sort of a thing where you're so rich you feel like you don't have any consequences for your actions. You can't. For some people, they can't figure it out. They can't. There's an invincibleness to them. Okay. I don't know how you tie that to Mac Jones at all. I don't get it. Jay Cutler? I mean, Crowder continued to say that there are some people who are born into wealth but remain hungry and level-headed. Quote, there are guys that have money and don't act like it, Crowder said. Zach Thomas. I don't know if Zach wants me telling this to the world. His dad's a billionaire. And Zach Thomas is one of the hardest workers I ever touched the field with. It didn't get to him. The AFFLUENZA gets to some people. It did not get to Trevor Lawrence. For most of these quarterbacks, and I don't know if people realize this or not, almost every NFL quarterback and most of these high-level college quarterbacks all came from money. All of them did. A lot of them played high school football up around Dallas, Highland Park. Well, that's one of the richest places in the entire country. Okay? I'm not sure that a lot of people realize that. It's something that is around most NFL quarterbacks have come from some kind of money. All right? I don't think maybe Lamar Jackson did. But I don't know that for sure. But like Drew Brees and some of these guys like that, yeah. I mean, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, I mean, of course they came up around a lot of money. Archie was their dad and played in the NFL. With that comes wealth. And then, of course, they hit the jackpot very early, and that was back when rookie contracts were out of this world when those guys came into the league. But what an odd thing to say about a second-year quarterback that is doing his best to motivate his team under disastrous circumstances. And the offensive coaching and scheming in New England is disastrous. It's probably the worst in all of football. I mean, look, there's people in minicamp and training camp and preseason knew this wasn't going to work. But Channing Crowder, who evidently is not, consuming the people that cover this team on a daily basis, guys like Tom Kernan and guys like Phil Perry, those guys up there in New England that watched it and talked about this, as the getting ready for the season to start, they knew this Matt Patricia thing and Joe Judge thing was going to be a disaster. And that's exactly what it's been. I mean, nobody exactly understands what Bill did here. There was a sense that Bill was trying to even possibly do Nick Saban a solid by not ripping Bill O'Brien off of the Alabama coaching staff. So he said, well, I'm familiar with Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, so I'm just going to put them on the staff and let them take care of the offense. Matt Patricia's a defensive dude. Joe Judge is a special teams dude. These are not offensive-minded coaches. I mean, Matt Patricia, all he does is call screens. It's absolutely nuts. And is it infuriating that Mac Jones could see the writing on the wall way early before the season starts and knew it was a disaster and knew he was taking a blatant downgrade in his second year at quarterback? He knew he was taking a downgrade in coaching. When he's trying to develop, I'd be pissed too. I'd be furious. I'd be like, really? I handed you one of the best seasons a rookie quarterback has ever had, and you've decided to do this with my development. You know, I mean, it's crazy. If I was Mac Jones, I would walk around furious all the time. I would. I mean, come on. He's watching guys get coached up. He's watching Trevor Lawrence develop right now, and he got effed. You need to understand, Mac Jones got effed by Bill Belichick. I mean, just plain and simple. There's no other way to say it. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 supporters. I saw this and was like, okay, so he's got some wealth, and that's the problem with Mac Jones. Okay. I mean, that's one of the dumber takes in the history of dumb takes. It truly is. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First. 25% off USA First. Go now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.